Biodigester construction using blocks is what this video is about. Traditional biodigester construction has a family large size, and the newly designed Soakaway that we have introduced for our biodigester constructions is basically what we are doing at this 3-bedroom house with 4 toilets right here in Accra. Basically, we are doing the last family size biodigester. It's been designed for a family of 5, 6, of course, a house help as we call it here in Ghana. And then it's been done with the idea that you can use this biodigester consistently, and then it's going to do what it's supposed to do for your house and for your family. So this is what is being done right now. The blocks that are being used is the 5 inches solid. We usually prefer the quarried out blocks because then with water being in the ground and water coming into the digester, you want blocks that have been firmly pressed that will last for a longer time. The idea of biodigesters and biodegradable toilet paper biodigesters simply means that you are trying to treat the human waste through biodegradation process. A vast difference to the traditional means of managing human waste that we have come to know over the years. The idea of biodigester construction also means that we are trying to save the environment to make it easy to dispose of human waste, especially in the environments. Our part of the world comes with its own problems, where they are not professionally or technically designed sewage systems for houses that are being built. It means that each family will have to manage their own human waste by themselves. About a decade ago, when the biodigesters became big and they became prominent in Ghana, Ghanaians, especially homeowners, have never looked back, and they have used this system over the past few years, and it's been helping us. It's been making it easier for us to manage human waste, and that's what we are about here on this channel. So if you're new to the channel, you can subscribe. You can watch other similar videos that we have done that shows how to construct this simple on-site biodegradable waste toilet biodigesters, and of course how you can use them to manage your human waste in your house. The choice of the type of Soakaway, as I've said in some of my new videos, is on the fact that this newly designed Soakaway that I'm introducing in my biodigester construction, just to save homeowners the cost of construction a traditional, completely new Soakaway, is based on certain conditions. And the key one among them is the fact that the ground is good. The ground can soak the wastewater, and that it's not going to clog. So typical grounds like clay ones and waterlogged areas, this type of Soakaways are not going to work, and that in that case you might need a Soakaway bigger, and possibly you might need a drainage system for the wastewater or the overflow pipe to go into it, or you might need a pump for the soak water so that it can be pumped out when you reach a level that is not conducive for the biodigester usage. So anytime I do construct this type of Soakaways, it means that I've done the background works and I know that the ground is good to soak the water, and then we do this type of Soakaway, which we don't do them at a cost. We just to add them to the biodigester construction. And then the good thing for us and for you is that these Soakaways are easily accessible, and it's just not been done like the normal Soakaway pit, where we put stones in the ground and then we just cover it with a layer of black polythene rubber, and then we cover it with the topsoil. But rather we are trying to secure the ground and make sure that there's always a space for the water to go. If there's an issue, you can come and lift the slab on this Soakaway and then have a look in there and see where the problem might be, or simply have a look at the digester itself and know that okay, the soakaway that we have constructed for this digester is something we can easily have access to. That's why we do soakaways like this. So we do have the inlet pipe. The idea of the inlet pipe is also to make sure that you check all the toilet seats that are in the house that are coming into the digester, and then placing the inlet pipe at an angle or at a slope and level that makes sure that all the pipes will come and there's not going to be any problem in the near future. You need a good gradient for your inlet pipe so that nothing gets stuck in the biodigester. The biodigester does the rapid separation, which happens in such a way that the water is taken out immediately you flush from the human waste. So the key understanding immediately is that depth is not an issue. That's why a biodigester can be constructed in a waterlogged area, because it's not going to go down to meet the water table. If the water table is 3 feet, a biodigester can be done at 2 feet. The footing of the building is higher, then you know that your biodigester can come up enough for you to have that room, that elevation, that separation that will make sure that the water is taken out whenever you do flush. If you do a biodigester for a house and the land is good, it's not clay, it's not waterlogged, it's on a hilltop, and there are some situations that you meet, and then the digester is only for one toilet, or it's for only 1 or 2 people use, and then the land is also good as well, instead of having an additional cost of constructing a traditional soakaway, you can do the soak pit for the person. So in this case, what I've realized and what I do now is I put a vent cap at the end of the shape pipe, or the 4-inch pipe that leads into the soak pit, so that dirt and debris will not enter and block the wastewater or the black water from entering the soakaway or the soak pit that I've done. Usually what happens is that after some time, 4 or 5 years, 6 years, depending on the users or the capacity of the people who are using the digester, you get choked, because sometimes you do pavement on that place, or you do some tiling there, and then you cover it and it's underneath the heave, and the time will come, probably some debris and this will enter it and then you get choked. But in this case, when you do construct the soak pit, just get a vent cap, either the 4-inch pipe vent cap or the 3-inch pipe vent cap, depending on which one you're using, actually on the shape pipe, and then you put it at the end of it. With this construction, what we are doing is that we are going to use the porous slab. The porous slab has been done for filtration, and the understanding of the porous slab is that wastewater will seep through and then it will filter the water before it goes into the soakaway. But the porous slab that we are using, the digester we have constructed, this large digester is 4 feet. That's the inside. It's more than 2 feet, but the porous slab that we've already precast, we've already done on site, and we are bringing to use them here, have been done with 2 feet. That's the measurement. So it means that we have to close the inside of the biodigester with some blocks and do screening and do the ground, so that immediately we put the porous slab on it, then it will just come on top without having to leave spaces by the side. When you are doing the inside of the biodigester or you are doing the biodigester bed, you will have to make sure that there is no spaces at either side of it, because you are going to do the screening on the ground and you are going to give it a slope to take the water out immediately it comes into the digester. You need to make sure that there are no holes anywhere for the water to get stuck. You want the free flow of the water out of the digester. So in this case, what we are doing is to put solid blocks on the floor around the digester bed before we place the porous slab on it. It makes it firmer and it gives us room to operate. Most of the times when we do the construction, we need to do the porous slab on site and then have it dried up after a few days or a couple of days and cure before we come and put it inside the digester. But this can also be done out of site. It can be done at your own site and then brought here for fixing. So we have done the top slabs for this digester. We have done the porous slabs for them as well. So what we are doing is just to make sure we do the ground, do the screening, and then just place the porous slab on it, and then we are good to go. This work is being done in a day, so it means that everything has been prepared already, and we are only laying the blocks and having it filled up with the biodigester material, and then we are good to go. So the porous slab is being placed on the biodigester bed. This is how the screening has been done, and then the blocks have been used to cover all around the inside of the biodigester bed. All we need is to have an outlet for the wastewater to go with the sloping that will take it out of the biodigester bed. And the reason why we did it like this, like I've explained, is because of the porous slab that we are using. The porous slab is only 2 feet. So to make sure that it covers all angles, we have to seal the digester bed and have it covered completely before putting the slab on it and then putting in the biodigester material, the biodegradable material on it. The inside of the biodigester bed seems to be smaller compared to the measurement that was used to do the porous slab. These porous slabs were done for the prefabricated slabs. So when you do screening inside the biodigester bed, when you are doing the block work, as well as doing the walls of the biodigester, rendering them, sometimes make it smaller. So it means that we have to cut part of the slab or the porous slab and then to make it fit to wall before we place them in.
Showman. That's right. I found a hole. Maybe vamos a ese.
The coconut fiber has been explained in several of the videos, is the key to biodigester construction here, and it's what does the biodegradation. These are the treated ones. I will get a video that shows how this is being done. I've been asked severally to do a video on how to treat coconut fiber, but in Ghana here most of these are done by machine. The Chinese guys have got machines that do some of this treated coconut fiber. So I'll get a video for you, and then wherever you are, if it's something that you can also do, you can look at how it will effectively change your game when it comes to biodigester construction. Make sure the coconut fiber is evenly spread on the digester bed, covering all areas of it. The fiber net or the mosquito net must be the first thing to go on it. The idea of the fiber net or mosquito net is to make it easy to remove the biodegradable material in the future when you need to do maintenance. When you come and just leave the net and then you lay another one. So this is the biodigester bed preparation, including the coconut fiber just on it. People ask about the bioenzymes that must also go into a biodigester. I do not add bioenzymes to my biodigesters. I will only use it to aid if there's a problem that I have, because if everything is done well, you do not need a bioenzyme. All you need is a coconut fiber, which has been treated to do the work for you when it comes to biodigester construction. So make sure your gradient is right, make sure your slope is right, make sure your soakaway has got an outlet for the water to go out of the digester, which is your biggest problem. And then make sure your biodegradation materials are also on point when you construct a biodigester, and then you are good to go. This is a channel dedicated to construction of biodigesters and human waste solution providers in Ghana, in Dreamhouse Biodigesters. The video that will be showing next on this channel will explain to you how to construct a biodigester, to how to use it as a means of managing human waste in your own property.